People in Boston can look forward to a second helping of free Shakespeare thanks to the upcoming production of Hamlet by the Brown Box Theater Project. To tell us about the production and a comeback for theater at Herder Park in Brighton are the company's marketing director, Talia Curtin, and the cast member who plays the role of Hamlet, Jesse Garlick. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
I'll start with Talia. Talk about the company and how much this kind of production with a lot of outdoor settings is central to your mission.
Absolutely. So we are Brown Box Theater Project, and we are primarily a touring theater company. So our central mission is to bring our work, our productions, to communities that might not normally have access to live theater, and to bring these pieces across many different venues, many different places, and really share them with people who crave the arts and performance. So this is going to be, we have 10 performances in the Boston area before traveling south to the Delmarva Peninsula, and it's really in keeping with a lot of the work that we do, trying to bring these, the unheard voice, these new pieces, and really full theatrical experiences to a diverse audience. So this is our 7th year of Free Shakespeare, so we have people who have been coming since we started off way back when with Twelfth Night, all the way up to here, our 7th year doing Hamlet, and we're really excited for it.
Jesse, there are so many ways you can do Hamlet, even if you stick to the script. I mean, there's the action play, there's the existential play, the political intrigue play. So what's going to be the main tone in this one?
I think the thing that we've been focusing the most on, and the reason why this show is so topical and will remain so topical forever, is it's really a show about the experience of mourning and about grief and how we deal with that in society. What is okay to express, what is not okay to express in terms of our mourning. So I think our particular take on Hamlet is really a story about a man who is thrust into an amazing circumstance in a moment when he's really at his lowest point, when he's really dealing with a tremendous amount of grief and emotion in his life. And I think that's, when I first began reading the show from that vantage point, most of the time when we talk about to be or not to be, people are just sort of referencing it as, that's that brilliant Shakespeare speech, that's that, the go-to. But it really is he's really talking about life, and he's talking about death and how we face those two things in tandem with one another, and really attacking it from that place of understanding our own mortality was very fruitful for me, especially for somebody who my grandfather just passed away about 4 months ago. So really, coming from that experience and being able to explore these themes with that experience fresh in my mind has been very potent and very powerful.
Well, with our 21st century vocabulary, we say his father died, so he must have post-traumatic stress, and yet this character, Polonius, says, get over it. This happens to everybody's father.
Yeah, I mean, that, and there's some truth to that, I think, when Hamlet's been mourning for 2 months at this point, and I'm actually Jewish, and in the world of Judaism, we actually mourn for a week. We sit Shiva, we remain in the house, and we sort of have the total experience of mourning in one stationary place, and then we sort of move on from there. Hamlet is very inverse to that. He allows himself to sink into this grief, and he stays there. He stayed there for 2 months. So when his uncle comes to him and says, "Hey, stop being so sad. Why? Come on, be here for me and be here for your mother." There is some truth to that, and it's really about who do you, as an audience member. I think Shakespeare is quite brilliant that he leaves it fairly ambiguous as to what is the right version. Who do you, as an audience member, relate with more? Do you relate with the version of letting your grief have its moment and then moving on to the next thing, or do you really stick with this emotion, and do you allow it to penetrate you for as long as it needs to, and then move on from there?
This has been on News, and we're talking with Talia Curtin and Jesse Garlick from the Brown Box Theater Project. Talia, one thing that is new about this production is you're going to a place that used to be used for theater productions in the past. It went into decline. It's been fixed up. This is Herder Park in Brighton. What's it going to be like doing Hamlet in a setting like this?
So we're so excited and honored to be kind of the inaugural production at the revitalized Herder Park. It has a long, long history of being just a thriving venue for performing arts. The Public Theater used to use it for quite some time, and then it was used by the Orfeo Group, but it's been pretty much out of commission for about 7 years. And the Friends of Christian Herder Park, a really wonderful organization, has really made it their mission to revitalize this area and bring arts and culture back to Alston and that surrounding area. So being able to be that first production back in here, helping the park come back alive and bring the arts into this community that has not really had that outlet in quite some time since the theater has gone away from this space is really valuable, really rewarding, and we're so excited to collaborate with Friends of Christian Herder Park, the DCR, and Herder Park itself in order to make this possible.
And for people who are not familiar, two nice things about this location. There's some parking there, and it's on the Charles River.
It's right on the Charles River, and there are actually seats there, unlike many of the other venues that we perform in, which has a bit more of a sort of picnic, bring your own chair sort of vibe to it, which we also love and encourage. It makes for a great theater watching experience. This is an actual physical amphitheater. So there are 350 built-in seats there, as well as space for lawn seating when we inevitably fill up all 350 seats with our audience members over 3 nights. But it's a really wonderful place to watch a show. And Jesse's actually been rehearsing there and has probably some thoughts about what a gorgeous venue it is.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, we've been rehearsing in Dorchester for the last 5 weeks now, but to move into that space and to really feel the full breadth of that space around us has added something completely new to the play, especially the outdoor scenes like the one with the ghost in Act 1 have taken on a whole new life with just the doing it at night with the sun lowering. It feels very magical.
And you've got a scene with some grave diggers outside.
Oh
too.
yes, absolutely, yes. We actually have our very brave grave digger, Margaret Clark. She has a broken wrist at this moment in time, which is adding a new dimension to her character. But she's really taking it in stride and finding incredible discoveries through her cast. I think she's quite brilliant in the role and brings a lot of humor to it.
Picture yourself performing, because you're going to have people coming who maybe haven't seen Shakespeare or at least see it very rarely. What's that like for you?
I think one of the main reasons that I wanted to be a part of this production is that it is bringing, Hamlet and Shakespeare to audiences that may not have had that experience before. And I think we've really, we try to stay true to the text, and we really try and work through the text as opposed to creating an experience around it. To give the audience members a really good grounding in not only this particular story, but in Shakespeare as a whole. I think one of the beauties of the casting process is that Kyler, our artistic director, has brought in actors that are really know what they're doing and really can come into the room who are really prepared and are very, very knowledgeable in terms of Shakespeare and can really teach audience members through their acting as well as firsthand. I think that's one of the real benefits of being such an entrenched Boston company, really be able to find these actors who are so willing and capable to share their knowledge and artistry around Shakespeare.
Talia, just a few more details about the performances, because we're talking about what are the dates and times so people can get an idea?
Absolutely. So we open this coming Friday, August 11th at Herder Park, and we run there for 3 days, so through the entire weekend through the 13th. Then we're back again on the 18th in the Fort Point Channel. We'll be at Atlantic Wharf, and we run through the 27th at different locations throughout Boston and the surrounding area.
And you got more details, and they're all on your website,
on our website, it's brownboxtheater.org, and theater is spelled Theatre, so brownboxtheater.org.
Thank you both very much, Talia Curtin and Jesse Garlick from the Brown Box Theater Project. We'll have more news in just a moment.